Must-win games in the NBA. Cleveland tonight, Boston tomorrow. For the defending champs, how to shoot their way out of a historic slump. And now, the synapses in the great brain of Mr. Bob Ryan are blowing up. Maybe an elbow jumper and not a 27-footer, Tony. Maybe some Mikan drills. Maybe. Let's go around the horn.
Why you put us on the show together? Why?
I just did a Bob Ryan impression of Bob Ryan's face. Oh, my goodness. 9 episodes remaining in the life of this fine program, and today's panel includes Harry Lyles, Bill Plaschke, and 2 panelists who have shared over 50 years as columnists at sporting events, contributors on books, and the NBA-ABA rivalry, Mr. Woody Page and Mr. Bob Ryan. As always, an honor to have you all here, specifically for this first word. Let's go. Bob, your Celtics, you've covered them for 6 decades, and you've witnessed 2 hands worth of championships, but even more, no one on the planet more perfect to be here today than this precise point where we exist, where a team has played 96 minutes and is 25 for 100 from the three-point line. It's killing them. And you have said this for as long as this show has been on the air. You loathe the three-point shot. It's the bane of your existence. But it did get this franchise a championship last year. So, Bob, talk to me about the adjustments you see the Celtics needing to make to get square and win a game, at least, at the Garden tomorrow.
What's that word you used? Beginning with an A? Adjustment? This is a word that is not in Joe Mazzulla's vocabulary, apparently. On the morning of Game 2, he gave a response to a question by saying, we just got to make them. He has no intention of changing his MO. He just thinks, and in Game 2, they had plenty of open looks again. They didn't make them. Last year, they made them. Most of the year, they've had games. Ask the Knicks, opening night this year. They were bombarded by threes by the Celtics, okay? you live by it. I mean, sometimes you die by it. Look at the Minnesota Timberwolves. In Game 1, they were 5 for 29. They lost. Last night, they made over 40% of their shots from 3, and they won. Look, you're right. I hate the 3. It's the worst thing that happened to basketball in my lifetime. Nobody needed it. Nobody asked for it. It was forced upon us by Abe Saperstein in 1961. Okay, now, but we have to live with it. I have to live with it. It's not going anywhere. All right. Answer your question. They're going to make more in New York. I'll bet you anything. They make
okay, I heard that after Game 1, and they actually met the same exact percentage, Bob. I've heard that before.
Well, I know. Well, that you think? Do you honestly? Do any of you think this honestly going to continue at a 25%?
All right, so you're not concerned.
Yes.
You're not really concerned.
Yes. I don't know. I'm not.
Okay.
I still want Plan B, but I know that Plan A will be
Harry
better.
Lyles Jr., please,
enough.
the floor is yours.
I'm so happy to be following Bob up on this because I love the three-pointer. I love Steph Curry. He is one of the most enjoyable players to watch that I've ever seen. I agree with you, though, that this is something that I don't think is going to stick. They are going to make more shots. This team is shooting 13% below their expectation, according to Genius IQ, and it goes up to 16% on wide open looks. To me, those are a couple of bad shooting nights. I know nobody wants to hear that, but Tony, you even said it in the intro. This is a team that won a championship last season playing basketball like this. They won 64 games during the regular season playing basketball just like this. I think if you're the Celtics, if you're jumping out to a lead, you got to keep it. I said on Tuesday, sometimes you do got to stop the bleeding and go to the bucket. They have those opportunities to do that. Because if you let the game get close, the Knicks have proven twice now in this series, they are going to make you pay for it.
But you're not concerned either, it sounds. Woody Page, I turn to you.
I'm laughing because 55 years ago, a man on this panel said to me, the three-pointer will never come to the NBA. It's stuck in the ABA. And he said, a red, white, and blue ball belongs in the head of a seal.
You had that right, Woody.
Isn't it interesting that this year, the record in the league was set for 1,457 three-pointers made, and they can't make any in the playoffs. That's what they got to do more often. However, Bob, they got to go to the basket. They can keep shooting those three-pointers, but that can't be the dominance of your game. You've got 2 guys that can go inside very well. I know you're missing your center. That's caused some problems in terms of the game in the paint, but that's what the Celtics got to do today. But the same thing, the Knicks are shooting the same numbers throughout the regular season at the three-point arc as the Celtics. So you're not going to win by beating them with a three-pointer. You got to beat them by playing better defense and going inside.
And Bill Plaschke.
Bob, your team is going down, and I can't be happier. I'm so happy to see the Celtics lose. I hate them so much. They are the first team in history to attempt at least 43 pointers and make only 25% in two straight postseason games. The worst shooting team in history. All they do is jack threes. That's all they do. They throw up threes. They have no shot of retaining. Only 4% of teams that are down 0-2 win the series. This ain't happening here because Missoula says they're holier than thou, and they are. They act like they're better than them, but they act like they need to adjust. They need to go to the basket. They need to change the offense, but they can't do it. Missoula hadn't coached them that well.
Bob,
they're going down. I'm thrilled to say they're going down.
A team that was the defending champion, never underestimate the heart of a champion, I believe is an expression you've heard before, would be given the benefit of the doubt. Do you feel this team has earned the benefit of the doubt? Do they have the look of a team that has earned the benefit of the doubt right now?
Well, you have to say, no, they don't have that look, but they do. And by the way, Bill, don't get the impression I don't think they should be going to the basket. Of course I think they should be going to the basket. I'm simply saying that there's no indication Joe Mazzulla thinks they should be going to the basket.
When it's all done this week, it's Saturday.
That's a mistake.
Will the series be 2-1 Knicks or 3-0 Knicks? Bob Ryan, around the horn to you.
Oh, 2-1.
Harry Lyles?
Gotta say that.
2-1.
Woody Page?
3-0.
Plaschke?
Every Knicks starter had a minus on a plus minus, and he's still in the game. Knicks will win. They'll go up 3-0.
We'll move on. Pacers Cavs tonight. Again, must win for the higher seed. How to recover from being Halliburton and how to physically recover from the injuries is at the top of the Cavaliers' wish list here. Shoot around today. Garland, Mobley, Hunter, all there. But still, all three questionable to play tonight. Bill, the number one thing it will take for the Cavaliers to win tonight's game.
They had no shot. This series is over as well.
It's unbelievable.
Through all three guys.
How do you do this?
All three guys were in street clothes the last game. Mm-hmm. You don't just come off the bench in street clothes and make a contribution in a postseason game. The Pacers are deeper. They had the best bench field goal percentage in the league. They're on a 40-17 run in the last 3 or 4 months. They're a better team. Indiana's going to win. They're a better team.
It's over, says Bill Plaschke.
It's over.
Woody Page, around the horn to you.
Well, first of all, I got to get three guys healthy and on the court playing again rather than in street clothes. Second thing, Arkansas once gave us a slogan, 40 minutes of hell, talking about defense. Well, guess what? The Cavaliers are going to have to overcome a full court pressure defense, a full-time defense that is being played by the Pacers, and they haven't done that so far. So I will say that they have got to overcome that defense, and they've got to get some people healthy playing tonight well on the court.
Harry Lyles Jr.
Yeah, I look at Evan Mobley and DeAndre Hunter being the two pieces here. We've seen some reporting that it looks like they're both still laboring, which is an issue, especially for a guy like DeAndre Hunter, who is basically out there as a defensive specialist. The one adjustment that Coach of the Year Kenny Atkinson had made the last game was that they started face guarding Tyrese Halliburton more. He had 24 less touches. It definitely affected his game. They're going to have that and a little bit more going into Gainbridge Fieldhouse, which is absolutely going to be popping because the Pacers did not expect to be up 2-0 at this point in the series.
It's about the health, as Bill said, completely about the health. They played the last game without 3 of their top 6 players. By the way, they still almost won. They don't need a much more to beat the Pacers. They're pretty good, but they're not a great team. They can beat the Pacers and if they get a little more health.
Mm-hmm. Anyone want to make a prediction tonight? Plaschke, you don't need to say anything. We already know. Every game's over. Every series is over. Why are we even doing any of this? I get it. I hear you. Who you got?
I've got the Pacers once more.
Harry Lyles Jr.
I'm going with the Pacers as well.
Bob Ryan.
Cavaliers are going to find a way. They just have to.
I love the way you took a beat there. You actually thought I might ask you who you got in this game, Bob, and you were really still taking it to the very last minute. Taking a break right here. Buy or sell on the other side. Minnesota evening up with Golden State last night, 117-93 when Anthony Edwards went down. A pall in the arena. Could this level the Curry injury and give the Warriors some momentum? I wasn't worried as a sportscaster. I was worried as an Anthony. But unlike Curry, not as severe. Came back, order restored. Also in this game, Draymond Green, another technical, his 5th of the playoffs, 2 away from suspension of the game. After the game, he talked about an agenda.
The agenda to try to keep making me look like an angry black man is crazy. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous.
Plaschke, what's your buy? Would you sell from it all?
Well, I'm selling Golden State's chances. They just can't win without Curry. They were minus 15 without him on the court during the postseason. Jimmy Butler is no longer the guy. He can't handle it by himself. Buddy Hield's too inconsistent. There's no points coming from anywhere. I'm also selling Draymond Green. He purposely hit Naz Reid. And I'm so tired of him being a victim in all this when he's brought it all on himself. And shame on him to do this with a team that's shorthanded. If he gets thrown out of the game, their chances are nil. He's got to stay on the court.
Woody Page?
That's mine.
I watched Jimmy Butler in the finals against the Nuggets 2 years ago, and he couldn't be the lead dog then. He is certainly not the lead dog without Curry. He was a great pickup to be the number 2 guy, but he can't get them past this series whatsoever. That's the emphasis, I think.
That's the emphasis. I mean, we have seen him get past before the playoffs. You're familiar with the playoff Jimmy, but you don't think that exists anymore. Harry Lyles Jr., around the horn to you.
I think a quick note on Draymond Green. A fan called him a racial slur during the fourth quarter. I think some of the frustration that you saw from him there had a lot to do with that, because I think obviously we all can agree that the hit on Naz Reid seemed intentional. We know his history, and that's sort of why he gets in trouble in these ways. But as far as the Warriors go in the more broader scheme in this series, I think they're cooked. Steve Kerr played 14 guys in the first half of this basketball game. I know John Kuminga had a good half. Trayce Jackson-Davis did as well. That's not sustainable. And to Woody's point, Jimmy Butler, you got to step up in these moments, man. That's why they got you.
Woody's point? Okay, then here's Woody's point. Yeah. Bob Ryan, what you buying, what you selling?
I'm selling the chances of the Warriors. Curry does so many more things than just shoot the basketball. They can't make up without him. They got a little bit of help from Buddy Hield the other night, but there's probably a reason why he's on his 5th team or whatever it is. No, they're not going to beat this team without Curry.
That's
no
it.
Question.
They need one more. They steal one game, and then you can maybe get back to a place where Curry's had 10 days off for games 6 and 7. Nobody thinks it's possible. We'll move on. Thunder Nuggets. Sounds like a Bob Seger song. Tonight in Denver, do Woody's Nuggets have a short memory? Can they expunge the game 2 loss from their record? Get back to what worked in game 1? Woody, you go last. We'll let you straighten them out. Harry, buy or sell the Nuggets bouncing back?
All right, well, since we're coming out the gate talking against the Woody's Nuggets here, I am going with the Oklahoma City Thunder. One of the things that Denver did the last game was turning the basketball over. The Thunder had 34 points off of those. The last team to do that was the 2017 Warriors, and this Oklahoma City Thunder team was also one of 5 to accomplish that in multiple postseason games. This team has more depth. They are more young, athletic. I think that's going to continue to show up in a 7-game series, despite what I find to be the greatest player on the planet, Nikola Jokic.
Bob Ryan.
I never dismiss the team's chances of winning Game 3 at home, and they might very well sneak one out. Jokic has one of those Jokic games, but they're not winning this series against this team. I mean, come on, they're not even close to the firepower that OKC has.
So it's about firepower for you, and that OKC has more of it. Bill Plaschke, around the horn to you.
The Nuggets have won 1 fewer game in the playoffs, and the Rockies have won all season. Great baseball team there, Woody. But seriously.
Whoa, where did that come from? All right, yes. Have you been following Woody on Twitter? He's been killing the Rockies every day.
I know.
He's aware of that. Go ahead, Bill.
I think OKC has a great defense. Lou Dort's in Jamal Murray's head. I think he stays there. I think OKC is just too physical.
And Woodrow.
For the final time in 23 years, I'm at to straighten you guys out. Have you not looked at the schedule? These teams this year are 3-3. And when Oklahoma City wins, the Nuggets win the next game. There have been blowouts. The 2 close games were won by the Nuggets. And I can't say enough about how the Nuggets are going to win these 2 games.
You've got the Nuggets winning tonight?
Lead.
Okay.
Yes.
Or this weekend.
What a homer.
Well,
What a
let me ask you
homer,
this,
Woody. What a homer.
Have you looked at the schedule? This isn't your last show. You can have more time to straighten people out. Come on now. Let's go to buy or sell 3. Look at this overtime game winner from Edmonton. Connor McDavid cooking and Leon Draisaitl finishing. That's the game and the 2-0 Edmonton lead. Caps also last night evened with the Hurricanes. But to talk about tonight, the Panthers, defending champs at home. Toronto's looking to go up 3-0. What universe are we in that Toronto is clutch and Florida is reeling? Harry, what you buy, what you sell?
Ooh, Tony, you know that the Leafs, when they go up 2-0 in 7-game series, they win 84% of those series. However,
is that right?
We are still
Dating
talking
how
about
far
the
back,
Leafs,
Harry? Give me some more context on that.
who are 2-13 in elimination games since 2018. And have also not advanced past this round since 2002. So, no, the defending champions are not out of this yet.
Bob Ryan.
The Leafs are carrying the weight of history, and it's not good history. They last won in '67, which is why I'm rooting for them. My big question is, can Joseph Woll in the goal do the job that Stolarz was doing before he got that vicious hit the other night in the head? I think he's the key to the whole thing.
Able to do it in game 2. Will he do it in game 3 tonight? Who you got tonight, Bob Ryan?
I'm going Leafs. I'm going
Bill
Leafs.
Plaschke.
For the 2,554th time in the last 22 years, it's over. The Leafs are going to win. I'm cheering for Toronto. William Nylander's been hot. The backup goalie's hot. Toronto has they have the best fans in hockey. The best fans in hockey. They deserve to win.
All right, Woody Page.
Panthers never come back in a series when they're down 0-2. So I'm going with Toronto to make it unanimous. I would like to just add this piece of information. The same year that Bob Ryan and I were born, the first NBA game was played in Toronto. This could be the biggest game for the city of Toronto since then.
Yeah. They've had some other big games. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's what it is. Bill Plaschke, it's over, some might say. Harry Lyles Jr., thank you for your time today. Let's see what the head-to-head matchup is for Woody Page and Bob Ryan in Showdown. We'll have those stats when we come back. The stats in Showdown head-to-head between Woody Page and Bob Ryan are blowing my mind. I had Caroline Willett, our producer, double and triple check it. It's true. 141st meeting between Ryan and Page. In the previous 140, 70 for 70. 70 for Woody, 70 for Bob. You guys are tied head-to-head. This is the tiebreaker. Let's go around the horn. Showdown 1, Aaron Judge. Those are the numbers as they play out for the season. That's the projection, and here's the column from Jason Stark. Greatest modern-day right-handed hitter ever? Woody Page. Agree or disagree?
I'm agreeing. I thought Jason, I have great respect for Jason. And after reading his story, I thought Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, but he's absolutely right. Number 99 is number 1 as the all-time best right-handed hitter.
Brian?
I have to go with a guy who averaged .402 over a 5-year period, highlighted by .424, a 20th and 21st century record in 1924. A man who led the league in total bases 7 times, in slugging 9 times, in OPS 10 times. And oh, by the way, you analytical nerds, even that fraudulent nonsense you call WAR, he led the league in that WAR 11 times. Rogers Hornsby.
Oh, great answer. You don't need to be so mean about it, Bob. I thought modern times you're going to tell me, is he better than Pujols? Is he better than Cabrera? You go back as Woody did to Hank and Willie and DiMaggio, and you go to Hornsby. Wow. We'll give Woody the point. We'll move on. Showdown 2. Now, the biggest story in the world. Oh, my goodness. I love everything about this. This is why we're here. Oh, the Pope knows ball. We got 9 shows left, and this story touched us from the hand of God, the greatest story of my time. So, the Pope, Leo XIV, grew up in Chicago. First off, blow my mind there. I'm getting text from Wilbot. Go Bears. He's a White Sox fan. He's a White Sox fan. He was at the World Series in 2005. We have photos of it. He went to Villanova. He loves the Wildcats. This is unbelievable to me. The Cubs, by the way, they tried to claim him. No, he's not a Cubs fan. What an L for them. We have videos now of the Pope edited in to the great championship-winning shot by Chris Jenkins, and he's taking the shot. I mean, this is unbelievable for me. So my question is, if you got the Pope, are you guaranteed a championship for Chicago sports around the horn, Woody Page?
Yes, I'm guaranteeing that he could bring the White Sox back to the World Championship from being the worst team in baseball. And if he does that, that's a miracle of biblical proportions. That is like a parting of the Red Sea if he accomplishes that, and he can.
Bob Ryan?
If there's ever a time that Chicago could need divine intervention, it's right now when you consider that the team with the best chance of accomplishing anything are the Bears, who are going nowhere. We got the woeful White Sox. The Blackhawks stink now.
Okay.
The Bulls
All
are
right.
mediocre.
Careful. You're
and
insulting the
Cubs are
Holy
mediocre.
Father, Bob. But it does mean, what did you tell us? It does mean if he likes Big Five basketball, that it's more than likely he's been at the Palestra, right? Yeah, I mean, and that's already a
far more
cathedral of
interested in that.
basketball, so we have to appreciate that. He played Little League. Did Wilbon pitch again? Did Wilbon strike out the Pope? Has he ever seen this show? I got questions, but right now I got a FaceTime for Woody Page.
In 1974, I met an idol of mine, the best pro basketball writer in the entire country, and that was Bob Ryan at an All-Star game. We've covered Olympics together, World Series between the Rockies and the Red Sox. We were on the first Around the Horn show. We're going to be on the last Around the Horn show. We were born the same year. I have the same birthday as his wife, and we wrote a book together years and years ago. Bob, you're the best.
How did I not know you wrote that book together? Oh, go buy that book. You guys are going to be rich. Everybody's going to buy the 1970s handbook.